What's going on, guys? This is Livin here. Hope you guys are having a good start of the weekend coming up here. I have a little series kind of going on, you could say, right now called Please Grab This Weapon, which is me kind of highlighting some weapons on the map that I feel that really need to be grabbed, and trying to emphasize that for players, especially when I'm playing in-game and I'm finding the enemy team not really making a push to really grab this weapon. So surprise, surprise, on this episode here, basically, I'm going to highlight the Trench Raider kit on Nivelle Knights. Again, surprise, surprise, if you've watched any of my videos, you can tell that I've really much enjoyed this new elite class that's come out with the They Shall Not Pass update. But with this new map coming out, I figured that seeing the size of it and how the map was going to play, specifically the actual size of it, that I figured that this elite class would do really well. So yesterday I decided to try that out and really emphasize strongly on grabbing my elite class and seeing what I could really do with it. And I just went through a complete tear. I think it was like five or four games I played yesterday, and I only lost one, and it was because I came in late on my first game. But the rest of the games I went in and I just absolutely had just a complete tear of the game that I was in, just by grabbing the Trench Raider kit the whole time. I was just able to keep grabbing it, and really wasn't able to lose it, and when I did lose it I was able to grab it back up again. It just completely controlled the game, and they were just easy wins after that. And it's still surprising to see at the very beginning of these games to see people not grabbing this weapon, not even making much of a push towards this weapon. A little bit too much of play the objective mindset, where people are so strongly rushing to the flag capture point to grab it, and I'm over here going to grab the Trench Raider kit, not really concerned, because you can hold a flag for your 5 seconds. I'm going to grab the Trench Raider kit and go recap the flag, and have a very high chance of recapping that flag from you and keeping it away from you, which is what I was able to do. So again, it's really surprised that people are not grabbing this weapon, utilizing it enough. Now this map is a little interesting, so how I've been playing this out is a little bit different than I would play with the other maps, considering that this map is generated more of a focus on trench warfare, which surprisingly isn't actually the best for this kit, even though it's called the Trench Raider class. It's really not the best way to use this kit is in the trenches. The reason being is because the trenches are such a narrow passageway, and the only way for you to really escape some heavy fire and some really hardcore bayonet charges that are made in a way to favor going down a straight path. If you know about the last update, they nerfed the actual turn radius of the bayonet charges, so it's really limited to really doing really well going down straight paths, which is what a trench really is. So as well as you trying to jump out of the trenches, if you've been in a situation before where you'll jump up over a wall or something and you find yourself jumping back down, that mechanic is a little bit choppy, and so it's really kind of a death zone for you with the Trench Raider kit. Now you might be asking and say, okay, well what do you mean then? Should we just go out in the open with it? No, going out in the open isn't ideal as well, but you would prefer probably finding places where you can weave around certain areas like pillars and certain other objects in the map. Broken ruins and such things like that, where you can maneuver kind of in a weaving pattern way. You'll find yourself favor this weapon so much more. So with that being said, I've kind of focused more on using this kit in between the capture points of D and C and holding those down. Now C is a little bit more open for my liking, but you can still do very well, at least weaving around a lot of the objects there. There's a big old object right there in the middle that you can keep circling around if you have to. D is more ideal for how I like to maneuver around. When you see the map style and how that's played out on D, with there being a lot of the ruins and certain like pillars and walls and things that can move around in that area. And when I do have to go push towards the trenches, I mostly lean on to the trenches that are closest to the middle of the map. So the trenches like E and B is the ones I would focus on more. Still very surprising to see how far back A and E go, which stretches out the map so much, which gives you as a Trench Raider such an advantage in a sense that if you find players that get very spread out in the map, you're able to easily come up to whatever areas you're trying to capture, and you can easily defend those areas rather easily because the map can get really spread out at times, and there's only so many, like if you have a squad, let's say, that goes try to cap a certain area, you can easily go up and take out a squad pretty. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge, but you could still do it after some skill wise of learning how to develop the skill with the Trench Raider kit. And so that's kind of the disadvantage of the map for people who are going up against this kit. Now, it could go the other way around, of course, and you could find yourself put in situations where you're way out there trying to cap maybe A or F with this kit, and you run into their whole team, and you're just going to get melted and you're going to die. So basically what I would try to do is just try to stay focused on C and D between those areas, and then touching the first trench areas, which would be that are closest to the middle of the map, which is going to be B and E. That's basically what I've been focusing on. Reason why in between the middle part is because if I can hold down the middle part, I give my teammates a better spawn position where they can spawn now in the middle of the map and choose where they want to go from there. They're not stuck off of choosing to spawn from some of the other side of the map, where the home base is at, or let's say we don't have our home base, but we have the other team's home base. Well, we're still are stuck on that side as well too, so we have these far travels that we have to go towards too, and you can you help your team out a lot by being able to control as much of the middle of the map as possible, and plus it does favor this kit so much more. So that's what I've been doing. Is a little bit of learning curve. Not so much. I mean, if you haven't used a Trench Raider kit by now, it's not too hard to get to know to use. I still recommend probably running out with your pistol out and just meleeing when you get close to someone. Not to run out with just your club out. You'd rather just hold your pistol out because in some instances you're going to want to shoot people instead. And sometimes it does well throws people off when you have your pistol out. People seem a little bit more hesitant to run away from you because they don't think they don't expect you to be charging at them, and they feel more aggressive that maybe they can shoot at you or do other things to you, and they're just not going to win that gun battle with you with your extra health that you have. So even though with that learning curve and the time it would take for you to develop and learn this kit, if anything you do have on this map that is to your advantage is the time, because the time it takes to respawn this kit is 3 minutes. So I'm not sure if that's been changed to all the Trench Raider kits on the other maps. I haven't yet played the other maps yet. If someone knows this, feel free to comment it below. But as far as I'm concerned, on this map, the spawn time, what it usually has been for the Trench Raider kit before, has been 5 minutes, but now it's down to 3 minutes. So if you make a mistake and you find yourself dead with the kit, well, you only have 3 minutes now to it's going to respawn. So the moment you click back into the map after you've died, the countdown starts, and from that moment that you spawn back into the map, you have 3 minutes until that thing spawns back. And so you have such an advantage now because most people are not checking the time that you died and seeing when you died and when you're going to respawn back into the map and see when that time is going to click back down to 3 minutes. As a matter of fact, I bet most people don't even know it respawns back in 3 minutes. So now you should know and have that advantage in knowing that, hey, look, this is going to respawn in 3 minutes now. I'll go do some little work over here, maybe try to help my teammates cap this base really quick, and after that I'm just going to go right back over here, pick up the kit, and go back at it again. Keep making the mistake again, die again. Well, now I know. Keep grabbing it, keep picking it up, and keep learning from your mistakes from that area. My tactic of holding down the middle might not work specifically for you. I think it's a good principal idea to work on, but it might not be the best option. You might have the whole enemy team attacking specifically the middle part of the map the whole game, and if you're going at it by yourself, this kit's going to get yourself, you're going to get yourself destroyed, especially because people are going to really want to kill you because they know you have the elite class. So you might want to go off and maybe go extend yourself out more and go out to some places like A or F. But at least the time it's going to respawn, so from those mistakes you make, you can easily pick it up again, keep grinding at it, and keep learning and doing, and keep improving at it. Because with what I'm doing with it right now, it's a no-brainer for anyone not to grab it if you want to at least win the game. It's like, again, I was put a really big emphasis yesterday on really trying it. I was going to be like, okay, I'm going to really grab this kit. I'm really going to hold it down. I'm going to find out when its respawn time is, and I'm going to use it to the max ability that I would ever use this kit at. And so I used it every single game after the first game that I came in and lost on. And after that, we just completely dominated and won every single game. So, again, it's another weapon that I feel like is a no-brainer to be grabbing, that you should grab this kit. Please grab this kit. Again, I don't see much of an emphasis at all for people grabbing this, which is so surprising because we went through, anyone who's playing this map had most likely, most of the people at least, have the DLC and have experienced a Trench Raider kit. And yet there's still not much of a push for this. Probably still some of them don't know where it's at, and you know, for whatever reason. If you still don't know where it spawns at, I have a video that it does talk about where this kit does spawn at, and I'll link it in one of the cards on the side there that you can click on. Yeah, it's one of those no-brainer weapons I think we need to grab, and I think it will help your gameplay out a lot. So that's basically it for you guys. That's all I basically have today. I do have another, like, please grab this gun type of video that I will link in the description on the side if you want to go check out that video, what that video is about. Thanks again for watching, you guys, and I'll catch you guys again later. Peace.